everybody and welcome once again to Danny Anson's Realtech mod pack. This episode we're going to have a look at a program for a drone. So let's get started. So this program is going to do some core sample drilling for us. So let's put down the drone. I'm going to put it down and I'm actually specifying a place. You see, this is the chunk boundary here, as you can see. So I'm going to put down the drone just here, and let's watch what it's going to do. It's going to first of all clear out an area, and then it's going to actually commit suicide. And I'm not sure whether or not it's actually faster if I used like that. Now where it is sitting here, you'll see it just died, and that's where a chest has got to go. So I think the chest has got to go under this tree here like that, if I've got that right. No, that actually looks wrong. I'm using an absorption hopper anyway, because you'll see why in a minute. Let's just break that. I think that was one place too far. Let's go back to the here, and it's got to be one block here. It's got to be here, the absorption hopper. Let's put it down there, and inside the absorption hopper we're going to put a core sample drill, an HV capacitor and a pickaxe. So now let's put this core sample drone down again. The first thing it did is it cleared the area, and it should go, let's have a look, here. I think I've actually got that in the wrong place. I think that it needs to be the next block along. I'll tell you what, we'll just use, yeah. Let's just use this one so I can actually see where it is. I keep hitting the absorption up. It's got quite a big hitbox. That's the one I want. So let's get rid of these three out of here and then put them into the one at the back. It has to be one block away, as I said. And it doesn't matter what order I put these things in, as far as I know. So let's break this down again. So now the place is here. So let's put the drone down again, and now watch what happens. Oh, yeah, well, it would help if I put the bits and pieces into this first of all, wouldn't it? So let's do that. It's actually got a check on that. So it won't proceed until it's actually got the bits and pieces in there. Now it's coming up to night time, so I better get a move on with this. Let's just double check that place there, and so it's this position, isn't it? Put the drone down and wait. So now it's putting down the core sample drill, and as you can see it's drilling. Let's go around this side over here. I should turn my magnet off just to be absolutely sure. And then it's breaking these two bits. It's going to the absorption up and putting down the sample it's just drilled, and it's moving on to the next sample. In fact, what I'll do is I'll have a quick sleep because it is night time. It'll carry on doing the same thing even at night, right like that. So it's put down the second sample now, and it's on its third sample. It's almost as quick as I can do it. The only thing you've got to do is to prepare the area, and it's actually not very good at dealing with yet. Oh, that's right, isn't it good? It's not very good at dealing with blocks missing below it. It's happy to deal with extra blocks above and beside, but not below. So when this is finished, just found stone, and it'll then die. And it actually gives you the coordinates of where it died, and that will have been picked up in the absorption hopper, so it won't despawn, which is what the idea of that is. So let's just break the absorption hopper and then go back to base, and I'll see you at base when we're there. So now let's have a look at that program. It looks very big, doesn't it? It's a little bit bigger than it should be. But we'll have a look at this one piece at a time, shall we? So the start is here. You've got the green bit. So let's have a look at this, the green start and this area. If I go and zoom in the right place, of course. Right. So here we are. Now what he's doing is I'm not going to build this program. So we've got a position here called placed, and what it's doing is it's comparing placed against X, Y, and Z. And X, Y, and Z are all 0. So when placed as the initial variable is 0, then it's going to be true. So it's then going to go off here, and it's doing this bit of code here, which is called init. So it's initializing the variables inside this. So then we've got variable place, and what I'm doing is I'm setting this to the value of drone, or the position of where I place the drone down, minus 1y. When you place the drone down, it's always one position above where you actually think you're placing it. Then I'm going to say where the chest is. So the chest is the value of where we place the drone minus 2 on the x coordinate, which basically means 2 west. And then we've got the first position, which is what I'm going to clear out here. So I'm going to take place, and I'm going to start clearing from minus 1 x, which basically we're going sort of northwest by 1 block. And then we're going to go, the bottom position here is going to be 2 blocks down southeast of that, and it's going to go 4 high. So that gives it space to work in. Then it's going to go and standby. That actually doesn't go to standby. What happens is I don't even need that there, to be honest with you. It then comes up here and it goes back to the start. So this time this condition is false, so it comes along here. So we're specifying a dig area, and I'm not requiring any tool, and it's doing it from the closest position. So it's going to clear out that area, and the area it's cleaning out is from pos position northeast to position southwest. So I think I've got that wrong. I think it should be northwest to southeast. There we are. Anyway, and then we're going to pick up all the items we've dug up and put them into a chest. Simple as that. And then we're going to go back to the chest here, and we're going to check to make sure that we've got all of these items minus 1. So it's actually a negative one, this one. Basically what I want to do is I want to check I've got one of these, and one of these. I really do need to split this into 3 different conditions because it would be better. At the moment I'm adding all of these up and saying if it's less than or equal to 2, so in other words it's not more than 3, then we're going to go to the position die, and die comes over here. Otherwise it goes to move drill. And the die, what die does is it basically exports everything it's got into the to the chest, at this area chest, as you can see, goes to the position. Actually, this is slightly wrong. I need to be chest plus 1 high, and then it's going to go to sleep, and it's waiting for 1 second, and then it's actually going to commit suicide. Now the committing suicide bit is very useful because it tells you exactly where it died. So if you've lost it because you were doing something else or got attacked, you can see on your chat where it died. So that's your position where you did your last digging, so to speak. I should fix this. We can fix that. Let's fix that. So what we can do here is we don't need the standby position on this, do we? So let's duplicate this one here. Let's move this down here, and we're going to say this is where we actually go to sleep or die. So we'll take this out to feel like this, and we're going to give this variable a name. This is a coordinate operator. I ain't sure that we've used those before. So we're going to give it a name. So when you get rid of this, it actually shows you all the different operators I've got in this, all the variables I've got in this program. So let's have a look. Where we're going to say this one's, let's say chest above chest, or let's call it bye-bye. And we're going to give it this position here. And what we're going to do is we're going to say it's the position of the chest, which is this position here. I'll take this placed one here and just duplicate that, bring it down here. And then we'll say it's chest. Getting rid of this stuff. And as you type it, it basically restricts the set of variables you've got down here. And then we basically want to say it's a chest of plus 1 position. So that's basically this block and the reverse of it. So we'll just say 1 on this one, like that. So that's going to be 1 block above the chest is the way we go by. So then all I need to do is to change this variable here. Instead of being chest, we'll put it to bye-bye. In fact, I don't think we need 2 positions. This bit sort of confuses me a little bit. We'll just put in here bye-bye, and that's it. And you can't show area, doesn't work because it's a variable. You have to program variables in here. So this now goes to bye-bye, and then goes to suspend, and then waits for 1 second. Let's increase that time to 2 seconds, or 2s, if whichever we are. That's actually in ticks. 2 seconds, then it's going to commit suicide. Then the absorption hopper will pick that up. So if everything's worked as we've got through here, we've got one of these. What I really should be doing with this is differently, because this is, I can put 2 sample drills in or 2 pickaxes in and miss one of the other items, then the program won't actually work. Now this bit is where it's a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the drone in here. I've changed this mode to being when I press the button. So let's shift that in there and then press and put the program and save the program into here, like that. So the reason it's more complicated than it needs to be is because there is another component we could use, and I'll have a look at that hopefully later on. That would allow us to iterate through coordinates, but unfortunately iteration isn't as consistent as it needs to be for this bit. So let's have a look at this. So what we've got here is I've got a variable called count. Now of course we haven't initialized count, so it's 0, 0, 0. And then it says we've got a condition here. So if this count is equal to 0, 0, 0, then it goes to value of drill northeast. Actually, I think that was, yeah, so drilling northeast. So I'll have a look at that on here. Oops, I've got it all laid out. So this position is where I place the drone down here, and this is the position northeast. As you can see on the mini map, this is east, and this is north. So that's the position. So it places this down here like that, where it's going to go to. Then it's going to place beside that a capacitor, and it's going to place it always on the right hand side, like that. And that will then charge up the core sample drill. And then it basically right clicks the core sample drill. Well, we'll come to that in a second or two. I keep pressing the escape button, don't ask me why. So, so that's the first position here. What it's saying is here is we're taking the placed and we're moving the X one direction. Now X in one direction is basically takes you eastwards. Z in the positive direction takes you south. So we're basically moving from the drone to here. That's where it places down the core sample, and we'll carry on with the program. And that's then sets this variable called drill. And then it comes on here, drill sample. Now drill sample is a subroutine, and it's going to be called 4 times for each of the positions. We've covered some of this. So it takes from the chest these 3 items here like that. It says chest. It works out whether it wants the capacitor to be. So it says the capacitor's got to be 1 block to the west of it. So X being -1. Then it places down the core sample drill. And this is where in the drill position. In here, it places down the capacitor. So it's placing down an HV capacitor. It's ignoring metadata and NBT because this will actually change its value according to how much power it's got in it. And then it's going to take this position here and it's going to right click the drill on the south side. It doesn't really matter which side it's sensible enough, it works it out. So it's going to right click this. I've got a filter in here. So it's going to right click the drill position. Then it's going to wait for 200 ticks, which is 10 seconds. And then it's going to right click the drill again for the core sample. Yeah, it's right clicking the drill again, just to be absolutely safe. I think this is important. And then when it's finished doing that, it's then picked up the sample. So it breaks the area here, digs the area of the thing. So we're digging from drill to capacitor. That's the area. And then it's going to put everything it's got into the chest. Now it's likely that because we've got an absorption hopper down here, that everything it breaks. So let's just try that. Let's break one of these. That it'll get picked up into here anyway, which is what we want it to do. So then it's finished the subroutine here, and it then goes off to continue. Now continue is actually here because I haven't placed down the sample yet, and in order to make this a little bit more visible when I shrink it down like this, it fills up the whole screen. I split this down. I split this into 2 parts here, so we've got another bit here. And what it's going to do here is, let's have a look at this. First thing it does is it calculates where the sample is. So the sample is 1 position below where it was drilling. If we want to shift right click the sample onto the ground. basically. So it again goes to the chest, and it will have picked up the core sample, because the core sample will be in the chest. It will have either been picked up by the absorption hopper, which is likely, or it will have been dropped in there when we actually did it from here. There's only one core sample in the chest, so that's safe. Then it's going to go here, and it's going to right click, shift right click actually, it's going to sneaking in here, the top side of that position where the sample will be. And then it increments the count. So then count becomes equal to the value of count plus 1 in the x. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just the x we're incrementing. And then it goes back to move drill. So move drill is back up here again. So then it goes to the next position. So we're checking now for count being 1. And when its count was 1, then we go to drill southeast. So southeast is one position, x and y, and x and z from where the drone was placed, and so on and so forth. So the next one along here is it's checking for count equal to 2, and then it's moving it straight down one block from where it was. And the order of these is important because you can actually block it. So for example, when you place it down here, the first sample is going to be placed here. Let's just place something down there. I think I can place this down like that. And then it's going to place the core sample drill here like that. Let's get these two out of the chest. And then it's going to place the capacitor. Now obviously it can't place the capacitor here because there's a core sample in the way. So it has to place that on the other side. Something just got broke. That must have been that. The farmer's very busy at the moment. It's doing lots of things. So obviously you can't place it there. Anyway, that's what that's all about. See, I'm always placing it, starting the bits off and doing it in the same order. So let's just have a look at that. Oh, it's got picked up in there, hasn't it? So let's have a look. The order it's going to go in, as I want it to start here, do that one first, so you can put the capacitor here. Then I want it to go down here, so you can put the capacitor here. And then it doesn't matter which way we do it, but I'm actually choosing to do it that one next, so you can put the capacitor here, and finally that one there, and it's done that. So all of the 4 core samples are done. So that is that program. As you can see, it looks very complicated, and it is a little bit more complicated than it should be. Now I'll set up the next bit and come back in a few seconds. So I'll now change the program to use this piece for each coordinate. Now, this is actually smart. Unfortunately it didn't work as I wanted to do, and I'll demonstrate that in a second. So here we've got basically 2 coordinates. So it's going to drill from drill 2, and then when it's got a text value of drill here, which is this place. So that's where it jumps to, and when it jumps there, it sets a variable. So you can specify a variable in here. The one I've actually got is set to drill. So I'm using the drill thing, and I've got obviously showing up drill from and drill to in this drop down, so we can actually see that. Now all I've done to set up drill from and drill to is, let's have a look at this, zoom in a bit over here. So here we've got these 2 variables. So we've same thing before, drill gets set to one position below the drone. Placed is where that's set to, and then I'm setting drill from where it's been placed down to where it's going to go to, which is one coordinate, one south and one east of where it is, and then it's going to go and calculate where the chest is again, and everything is the same as before. So what we're doing here is, instead of doing that, I'm just going to go check here to make sure that I've got force line blocks in here. If it doesn't have force line blocks, then it goes to this and dies. Otherwise it comes through here. So if everything's successful, it comes to this bit here, and it's got this loop. So we do that. So what all the loop does is then call this here, this subroutine, with a variable, and it's going to set the variable drill in here, like that. So the drill here is, what have I got here? Oh, that's right. I'm just setting a value of a sine. Sines I was having trouble with last time, and I don't know why. Sines are actually fairly straightforward. Easiest probably to set them up with an area tool. Let's go and get out of the area tool out of here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So for instance, it was this sine I wanted to program. So what I can do here is I could Obviously I could position this with a variable, but it's just a test bit of code, so I didn't really care about that. So what you do, let's go and get a slime block out of here. Got some slime blocks here, and place it down. And I found the easiest to use a slime block here. Right click it with the area tool and then shift left click it as well, and you see it. You can see the block in the middle of this block, so that shows you the highlight. So that's it. Then I can take this here and update that sign with that one. So I'm editing a sign showing the two bits. So I'm showing you the value of drill, and I'm showing you the value of drill from and drill to in here. So you should be able to see that, in fact, in here, but maybe that's, I think if I remember rightly, that was too big, so we have to probably put a third text piece down here, and then set that to the value of drill 2. Like that. In fact, I think, did I put spaces in the variables or not? I have forgotten already. Yes, I did. So that's incorrect, so I have to fix that. The first time I did this, I did put dashes between the two. So this time I'll just change this to getting rid of this one. I'm just putting, say, from. And then we're going to put specified to here. Like that. So then we can actually see where it's going to push the values. Now those values should be calculated. So it's calculating chest, and that one, oh, the chest is constant, isn't it? Yes, the drill from drill to, okay, that's fine. It doesn't care about that, because I'm only going to use this here to place down a block where I've actually got a drill. So I'm placing down a slime block. So let's have a look at this program now. Let's put this drone into here and program it, and put it down, and we'll see what happens. So when I put this down here like that, it'll go to this, pick up some slime blocks, 4 of them, then it places them down. So it's placing them down in the order would sort of be okay, because I'll be able to put the capacitors in that one. No problem whatsoever. Then now it's probably being picked up in here. It's being picked up in this one. So but if I do this one over here and just move the position a little bit and place it down here like that, it'll actually work differently. So this time it's put it on the position I started from, and it's actually going the other way around. So this time it's going around, I think it's probably going around anti-clockwise, and this one it went round clockwise, starting in that position. Unfortunately, that makes it difficult to use that in the program I have already designed. So let's remove those. So that's it, I think, for drone programming. I think I've covered almost everything that's there. There is one more item I haven't looked at, and this one here. This was for each item. So you can then do multiple things with a set of items, or you can do something with a set of items. So for example, you could build a wall which was sort of alternate blocks or something like that. I think that's what that's for. And as you can see, it's quite an effective program. It's big, it took a while to develop, I can tell you, not that one. I've got this one stored in Placer. Let's put that one back into Placer like that. That's the one that places blocks down, and I've got another one here which is called core sample drill. These are stored into this, and I've actually uploaded these two into actually I haven't uploaded this one yet. Let's just do that now. Let's upload that into Pastebin here, and then I will rename that one in the Pastebin. I'll put both those two programs in the description. So I said the suicide actually puts things into the chat. So if you look at the chat here, you can see that where the drone has died, executed a suicide puzzle piece, which tells you where it is. So the coordinates are very useful if you've actually lost your drone at some point in time. Well, that's it for this episode, and I think I've probably done all I can do with PneumaticCraft Repressurized. Next time, I would like to go off and see if we can defeat the Ender Dragon without using the jet boots, which is obviously a little bit easier, but we'll see what we can do. So until then, I wish you all the best. Bye for now.